G'day everybody and welcome to my Aussie gardening kitchen. If it's your first time here, my name's Darren, but please call me Daz. And in today's recipe, I'm doing a spicy sausage casserole. Now this one's an absolute favourite here. It's a real rustic dish. So yeah, stick around and check it out and see how it's done. Now I'm quite excited because this video is actually part of a collaboration. Now Greg's Kitchen has organised a wonderful collaboration during the month of March 2022. We've got a whole bunch of channels submitting casseroles every single day in March. Now there's some wonderful channels and some wonderful people out there. It's my turn today with this video. Now the collaboration is called Marching with Casseroles 2022. I'm so excited to be part of it. I'm very privileged to be a part of it because I've seen some of the channels and man, some of these channels I've been watching for ages and I'm so rapt that I'm actually a part of a collaboration with them. So thank you to everybody for taking part and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks. All right, here we go. We'll get our olive oil into the pot. Just move it around with the spoon, as I always do, just to get the oil to heat up a bit faster and also to coat the bottom of the pan. Now, I'm just going to add my sausages, or snags as we say in Australia, or bangers as we say in Australia. So there we go. I've just got 5 of them here today. As you can see, they're starting to get a bit of colour, which is flavour, and also they're sealing up nicely so they're not going to explode and make a big mess inside the pot. Now in case you missed it before, I call these snags or bangers. That's what we call them in Australia. It's a nickname, as Aussies do. We nickname just about everything. So yeah, snags or bangers, but to most people they're obviously sausages, and they are called sausages in Australia. Okay, so they're sealed enough. As I said earlier, I'm not worried about cooking them at this stage. They're going to cook later. So we'll take them out and put them onto a plate. So with the sausages, what I'll do now is I'm actually going to cut them into portions. So we'll just cut them into sizes like this, bite-sized pieces. So what's that, 2, 4, 6? So that's 30 pieces there for this casserole. You might be able to see just here that they're not cooked in the middle. That's fine. As I said earlier, the cooking process is later. So for now, we just wanted them nicely coloured and sealed. And that way I can cut them like this and they're not going to fall apart and go mushy and go all over the place. Okay, so there's olive oil in here from earlier, plus a bit of fat from the sausages. I'm just going to leave it as is. No more oils going into this. And in goes the onions. As you can see with the onions, I've done them in rings and I've done them in thick rings. Now the reason for that is I like the texture of the thicker onions. Also with this casserole, it's great to be able to scoop into it and actually get nice big pieces of onion. They may break apart, but you'll have nice long strands of onion in that mix. Using red onions are sweeter than the brown onions and they really do suit this dish. And of course the colour does not hurt at all. So we get these onions moving around in the pot. And all we're doing is softening them up, drawing out a bit of flavour. So they'll be in here for probably 2 to 3 minutes. All right, so here I've got some red chilies. So I'm just going to pop those red chili in there. Give them a nice little stir. Here I've got green capsicum with a few red capsicums there as well. That was just a random one. These onions, these chilies, these capsicums, and these jalapenos are all from my garden. Now I say capsicum, but overseas in a lot of countries people say peppers, sweet peppers, bell peppers. So these are actually green bell peppers. Now the aim here is just to soften things, brighten up the colours a bit, give them a bit of colour. We don't want to cook them because everything including the sausages are going to cook through later. Alright, now this is minced garlic. Now here we've got 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and 1 teaspoon of cracked black pepper. We're going to stir all of this in. Now we've got to be really careful. We don't want that garlic to burn, because as I always say, garlic that burns goes bitter and it tastes terrible. Alright, so that sugar's in there. It's caramelizing and coating the veggies. So what we're going to do is get some liquid in there. So we've got some tomatoes from a tin, crushed tomatoes, and I'll be using 2 tins of those today. By all means, use fresh tomatoes, but tin tomatoes are convenient and they do well in this recipe. They break down and add a nice amount of liquid to the dish. It's actually tomato season here in Australia while I'm recording this, so I've got no reason not to use fresh tomatoes, but I'm actually dehydrating all of mine. Now I've got tomato paste here, so I'm going to add the tomato paste. Now with the tomato paste, you've got 2 options. You can add it now like this and cook it through, or you could have added it before these tomatoes and cooked it off with the vegetables and cooked it in the pan that way. Really, it's no big deal. Either way is fine. This is the way I'm doing it today, and this is how I'm showing you. Give that a stir. Just using the back of my spoon to push down and get that tomato paste mixed in. Okay, now I've got a 4-bean mix here. I've actually drained most of the liquid from this, and there's 2 tins of the 4-bean mix going into here, and 1 tin of baked beans. I always put baked beans. Can't help myself. Our sausages that we cut earlier, drop them in. Stir those sausages in. Now I do recommend more sausages to this quantity, at least another couple of sausages, but due to my miscounting, because I was cooking dinner for the family with the other sausages, this is what we have today. But it's fine. Absolutely fine. Okay, so I'm just going to bring that up to a slow simmer. While I'm doing that, adding my Tabasco sauce. And for this quantity, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 good splashes, I think. Give that a stir in as it's all heating up together. Making sure I scrape the bottom of the pot and the sides. We don't want it sticking at all, which it's not. So you might have noticed that I haven't added salt yet. The reason I haven't added salt is because I'm going to add beef bouillon, or a beef stock powder as we call it here in Australia. So I'm just going to shake that in, like so. Now that's going to have a salty taste to it, so we're not wanting to add salt unnecessarily. So I'll make sure I get that stirred in. It's such a rustic type of meal, this one. I absolutely love it. Crusty bread, oh, you just can't go wrong. It's got enough salt for me, but by all means, you taste it. And if you think it needs salt, by all means, you add the salt that you think it needs. Alright, so that's come up to temperature. Quite happy with that. So what I do now is I just drop jalapenos on top, like so. I don't add them earlier because I don't want them to completely disappear. Okay, it's now ready for the oven. So I'm just going to pop the lid on this and get it straight into the oven. I've got the oven already going and it's preheated at 180 degrees Celsius. I'll pop Fahrenheit on the screen right now. Now, something I haven't done with this recipe for you today is that what I normally do is right before the oven stage where I put the lid on, I'll grab a big handful of these dehydrated tomatoes, a big handful of these dehydrated jalapenos, pop them in there, give them a gentle stir, pop the lid on the casserole dish and get it into the oven. Now what I like about that is the dehydrated tomatoes and the dehydrated jalapenos, they'll start to dehydrate when cooking, but not completely. So you're going to get this intense flavor of tomato, intense flavor of jalapeno, and it's almost a slightly chewy texture of the tomato and the jalapeno. It's absolutely fantastic. It's a favorite thing I love doing with many recipes here. But because I'm showing you a basic recipe today, I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably don't have these sitting around, so I've left them out. But if you do have either of these or both, I highly recommend get these and get them in there just before you pop it into the oven. You can't go wrong. Oh, you can smell the spice and the sweet peppers and tomato. Oh, it smells fantastic. Okay, let's get this lid off and see what it looks like. And of course, see what it tastes like. Oh my gosh. The smell is absolutely divine. Oh. As you can see by putting the jalapenos on the top at the end, they haven't broken down. They've still kept their shape. Oh, fantastic. And by not stirring it on top of the stove all the time, you've got the green peppers, or capsicums as we say in Australia, that have kept their shape. Oh, the smell is crazy, guys. And as you can see around the edges here, this tomato sauce has started to concentrate and go a little bit thicker, which is only going to be more flavor. And I'm pretty sure those sausages are going to be very nice indeed. Okay, no more talking. Let's start eating. Let's give it a little bit of a stir. Don't want to break it up too much. So as you can see, everything's cooked nicely. The beans have absorbed some of that moisture, and also we've baked it down a little bit in the oven. But it's not a mush. You can see these capsicums or green peppers are still nice and firm, holding their shape. All right, let's get this into a bowl. Look at that, what a mess. I should edit that out, but you know what? That's not me. This is how it is, guys. Oh, the smell is driving me crazy. It's just oh, so good. I'm just trying to make sure I get a bit of everything. I want some of those jalapenos, some of the red pepper. Okay, so here it is. Here's the final product. Now, as you can see, I've put some jalapenos on top. What I like to do is get some jalapenos and slice them really thinly and have them on a side plate, maybe with a bit of olive oil and a bit of cracked black pepper and even some garlic. And I like to mix that up a little bit and sprinkle it over the top. But today, for this video, I've just taken some jalapenos and just put a few on top. Okay, let's get into it. So, as you can see, we've got our beans and peppers and everything are looking quite good. So, first of all, I just want to get some of this mix with the beans and the onion. Give that a go. So as you can see, what I was saying about the onion, cut it thick, and you get these nice big ribbons or even rings of onion. And being red onion, it still has a bit of that purple tinge to it. And what I like about this is these bite-sized pieces of sausage are actually going to go softer when you cook them this way. They're really, really nice. It's really good to bite into them and you get that texture. It's, I'm not going to say creamy, but it is a softer texture. It's really good. You've got to try it. As you can see, the peppers, They don't go to mush. Those capsicums, as we say, they don't break down and disintegrate by doing it this way. So I really do recommend cooking it this way. It's absolutely fantastic. This absolutely does get a big Daz approves. I really do hope you try this yourselves. If you do make it, please leave a comment on my video at any stage and let me know what you think. Also, let me know if you do make a version yourself and tell me how different yours is from this one. I'd love to know what sort of variations there are. Cheers. So check out this video. I hope you enjoy it. There should be some tips and tricks in there for you to pick up as well. I will see you next time, and thanks very much. Bye.